Your first warned weather forecast from meteorologist Jordan Wolfe.
Over the last several hours, our storms have been very quickly weakening, really even over the last hour or so. They did produce quite a few severe thunderstorm warnings and even a couple of tornado warnings off to our south and west near the Davenport area. But since then, that line of storms has pretty significantly weakened. We only have one brief bolt of lightning over top of Rockford and mostly just in the way of some stronger showers. If we look a little bit closer, you can see that very fine line where those stronger storms were at closer to Davenport. This is our wind speeds has become a lot more washed out, not nearly as defined as what it was down to our southwest, and you can see that reflected also when you look with our satellite and radar. Our radar in particular showing off that bright red line of storms, but now as it moves further off to the north and east, those storms have since fallen apart, only giving way to just a few of those gusty showers. We may still see the potential for a few brief wind gusts upwards of 50, possibly 55 miles per hour, but I do not anticipate any additional severe thunderstorm warnings or any tornado warnings here locally as we head over the next couple of hours, aside from maybe a brief storm for portions of DeKalb County. In the near term, here's how these storms will play out the rest of the evening. Futurecast depicting that line pretty close to where it's actually at right now, showing off a little bit more of that red color than what actually is the case on radar. That continues to weaken as it pushes further off to the north and northeast, passing Rockford as we head closer to 11 o'clock or midnight. Back behind it, we could still see a few isolated showers, maybe a rumble or two of thunder roughly through 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, but that severe threat will be diminished once that initial line passes. Overnight tonight, our temperature will continue to rise along with that warm front bringing some of that moisture and that warmth our direction. A couple of those raindrops now falling against our downtown Rockford Mercy Health Skytrack camera on the Supply Corps building. That's brought to us by Window World, showing off some of that rain. Not much in the way of stronger storms or even lightning as well, but that warm front will allow for our temperature to continue to either hold steady, if not rise through the night tonight. We see that intersection of that warmer air along with that cold front sweeping in back behind it, and that was what allowed for at least a brief amount of that spin in the atmosphere to produce a few of those tornado warnings across west central Illinois and portions of Iowa and down into Missouri. But by the time that they got here, encountered a much weaker environment for storms. That cooler air mass where temperatures were stuck in the 50s all day today played a significant role in weakening those storms as they approached. Temperatures still sitting in the 50s for many of us, 55 now in Rockford and in Rochelle. Actually, the warmest we've been all day, 62 in Sterling as that warm front starts to lift closer and closer to the region. Overnight tonight, we may still be dealing with a couple of those spottier storms roughly through 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, but afterwards, I do think we dry out. Temperatures still remain very mild though, so that overnight low of 40s, 48 degrees likely will be reached near or just after sunrise tomorrow. Unfortunately, the temperature doesn't rise much further than that for the daytime hours, 55 for that afternoon high. Cloud cover on the decrease and will be quite windy as our weather system bypasses us to the north and to the east. We're still left with a few of the clouds and possibly a couple of stray showers through mid-morning hours tomorrow, but note that decreasing cloud cover even giving way to a little bit more of the sunshine as we head into tomorrow afternoon. That will, though, come with a little bit more of that wind. Strong wind gusts could be on their way for tomorrow. Wind gusts approaching 30, 35, or even 40 miles per hour, almost due west until we get closer to the evening hours. That's when we'll see those gusts begin to calm down a little bit, flipping more to come out of the northwest in that near term. We are left with a little bit more moisture, though, as we head through this week. A warmer and slightly more moist pattern on the way that'll bring us periodic rain chances as we head through Tuesday, Wednesday, and even into Thursday. That does come with a milder pattern as well, 55 for Monday, but with that wind, up to 68 with a warm front on Tuesday. Could bring us our next chance for a few rumbles of thunder, almost scattered showers nearly every day, but drier and a slight cool down for the weekend.